Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm Rob from Stargard Elite. For those that do not know me, and we're going to start off with our first of our elite interviews that we're going to start a feature. We're going to start on Facebook, and our first guest with me today is Bryan from Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas. So, Bryan, do you want to introduce yourself and give us a little rundown of who you are and where you're from?
Sure thing, Rob. Thanks. Pleasure to be here. Appreciate the time as always. It's an honor to be a part of SGE and moving through the world of aquatics here. So it's pretty cool. So my name is Bryan Banner. I'm the executive director for marine water park operations at Aquaventure in Atlantis Paradise Island. I've been here for just over 2.5 years, and we got a 141-acre water park surrounded by the natural, lush Bahamian mangroves and plants and whatnot. And some of our coolest marine life is all from the Bahamian waters as well. So it's quite an interesting park. It certainly brings a uniqueness because we incorporate that marine life into our experience here. And I think we're one of the first resorts to be able to do that. And the subtle backdrop has really taken on the actual premier part of the experience is being part of the marine life, and you get to do a bunch of slides as well. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. So for those that haven't been to Atlantis before, what sort of a favorite feature for you at the park that you was sort of like a wow factor, I guess, that's a sort of a sell point and a wow factor for people to look forward to?
Well, we got the thrill rides, the drop slides, the master blasters, and I think those are a staple with most water parks in the world, at least the great ones that I've been associated with. But again, the wow factor is, you're walking around and all of a sudden there's this huge pool full with 2 9-foot great hammerheads. And it's like, those are real. Yeah, they're really dangerous. And they're like, literally, they're right there. And I think that's pretty cool. And then obviously we have our dig, which is our huge open air aquarium. And we have a manta ray in there and stuff. So it's, when you walk through that, it never gets old to me. Just going through and just seeing what it is that's down there, and this the foresight from Saul when he designed all this stuff back in the day is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got a few questions for you that we're going to sort of go through to learn a little bit about you and the facility there. So kicking off, can you give us a fun fact that nobody else would know about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm married to, my wife's name is Britt Christensen, and we've had 3 separate marriage ceremonies to each other. The first in Thailand, and that's our official wedding day. And then the next was to be legalized because we were living in Dubai at the time. So we had a marriage in Dubai. And then we had a surprise wedding thrown for us when we did a visit 2 years later in North Carolina. So I've been married to my wife 3 different times, and neither of our parents have been to any of them. So
that's a good fact. I like that. Okay, so you mentioned briefly that you're at Atlantis for a couple of years now, but how long have you been in aquatics total, and what made you get into aquatics in the first place?
Interesting question. I've had it a few times. So I went to a small school in Central Virginia called Longwood College. It's now Longwood University, and it's grown much bigger. And I was a physical education major, exercise science. So I got involved with that, and part of the curriculum was we had to do a water WSI course and a first responder course. And so with that, I got a lifeguard certificate and did my first summer gig. And I was the only guard at a community pool for 7 days a week for the whole summer. And it was my first experience. And then from there, I got out of school and got into one of the local gyms as the aquatic supervisor. And just that little piece of paper, that college degree, and the lifeguard certificate that went with it just made me a decent candidate for just about every aquatic or facility management position I put myself into. So I bounced around a couple little places for a while, and then used that experience to parlay into a job with the city of Alexandria, Virginia. And I think that's where I really started to learn my way about being an aquatic professional and a leader amongst big teams and stuff like that. That's where I really started to feel like I was coming into my own, to my professional genius, if you will.
Yeah, and then obviously with your career, for those that don't know, you've been to quite a few different parks across the world, had some really cool experiences in doing that. For someone who's wanting to move around, for example, I know you've been over, you mentioned Dubai. What would you sort of say to them that would assist them, or what would your biggest challenge be, or how did that sort of come about? And what advice would you give to anybody looking to do the same?
Do it. Do it as soon as you can. Sacrifice. No, it's not even a sacrifice. Do a 2 years sabbatical from whatever you're doing. Start from the ground up. Don't think you got to go into this huge leadership position, but the experience of being outside of, well, I'm American by birth, but being out of your home country and being around other people from different walks of life is an experience. You can't put a price on it. And I think that from a leadership point of view, it's really helped me develop that there's a lot more at the end of the tunnel than what you normally thought about, and so my experience in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and then traveling the world from that central location and being a part of aquatic programs in Southeast Asia and around the way, it's been eye-opening to understand how huge the world really is and how much you can learn from different cultures and different people from different cultures. So yeah, I mean, do it. Get in there. There are challenges, but there's challenges with everything you're going to do. And if you're happy, not that there's anything wrong with it, but living in mom and dad's basement and working at the local whatever, then that's you. That's cool. But if you want to go out and see the world, and it's there. It's there it's there if you take advantage of it. And Rob, you've been around. You've seen the world like through a different pair of glasses. You know what it's like.
Yeah, like yourself, I've been fortunate enough to be able to go into Asia, America from England, obviously originally. And my advice always is the same as well. It's nice to hear someone say the same. Is when that opportunity arises, don't be afraid of it and just go for it. And worst case scenario, you can always come home, right? If it's not going right. So.
You may not know this, but when I met you in Malaysia, when we went out to do some work with you back in the day, and you kept taking me out to all the different Malaysian restaurants, and I like what I like. Yeah. And you took me into places and tested my boundaries like you wouldn't believe. I still tell stories about you guys cooking on that little thing in front of us, man. Boy, that was a crazy, crazy week. But that to me is living abroad is all about having that great experience to go back and say, there's crazy people from all over the world that you'll get along with,
Yeah, and you learn things as well, right? Okay, so we touched on it a little bit at the start, but let's come back to it as a whole. It doesn't have to be Atlantis, but what would you say would be your favorite water park attraction?
Water park attraction. To manage or to ride?
Let's say to ride. It's more fun, right? Because we have a lot of challenges in operating. But let's say, let's put ourselves in the guest shoes for a little bit. What would be your favorite attraction? To sort of ride or be a part.
Give me a good thing, a great thing. Drop slide. Just that's to me. It's the throughput's fantastic. You get up there, you're in awe. You get to this high platform. You look around. You get to see a bunch of stuff. And then in 7 seconds, you're done and you're out the way on to the next one. I don't think you can beat it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm always nervous with those ones. So, you're always nervous in the door, right? And then once you've gone, you actually enjoy it and you go again.
Yeah, and how many times have you done one and you get to the top of that thing, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, you still think, I'm not doing this. You can go first, right? Okay, so again, we've talked through these a little bit, but what would you say your favorite part of your job is? Where you're at now, as operations.
So I believe I'm pretty lucky because I work with one of the best teams I think in the world, and the people here and the people of the unit that I was brought into has been together for a very long time. And I'm the new guy, right? And just to come in and fit in and work with a group of people that have the same, just mentality of being a good person first, and then being a professional, and then getting the job done. And when backs to the wall, things get done really good. And working in environments with different people with different mindsets is often difficult, but we have a great boss. There's not a lot of ego around, and I think that's difficult to find in the world these days. And we just have such a good team. So my favorite part of the job is being a part of a great team, and
Yeah.
I'm there now.
Yeah, and I think that's generally for anyone who's looking to get into aquatics as well. That tends to be a running theme, right? You're always enjoying working with the people.
Yep.
Even probably foremost before the operation itself. It's always something to bring you back, right? I know that's
most of my professional and personal successes have been because I've found myself in a group of people of like-mindedness, and we all share the same values and stuff, and it's very comforting. And it doesn't happen overnight. You go through different jobs here and there, but I think a good leadership point is that when you find these teams where you're able to develop these teams and build that support around you, I think it's a true test of your leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. So next question, what would be your favorite SGE rescue, either to teach or to do, or as a rescue in itself?
The ones I don't have to do. Just kidding. So yeah, I think keeping it simple, mate. Any front rescue is perfect for me. Compact jump in. Hey, I'm a lifeguard. I'm here to help. Grab on the tube. Let's get you out of here. There's more sun waiting for you. You got yourself a little overboard, but here we are.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Nice. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second you couldn't get into aquatics, or you weren't in aquatics, or you wanted to change into a different role. What would be a different career path or business opportunity you'd love to get into personally?
Well, I'd like to think I can make it as a stand-up comedian, but I don't think I have the balls to stand on the stage and not have people laugh at me. But I did get a degree in physical education in the exercise fitness field. I'm not sure that I would have pursued the fitness aspect, but I really enjoy facilitating information to people and leading. So I think anything that would go along those lines. I love playing golf. I'm not bad at it, and I think I'm a decent teacher. So I would have really put my passion into being a professional golf teacher. I think that's where I'd be right now, honestly, if I wasn't in the place where I was right now.
Wow, that's awesome. So that probably leads into the next question, which is when you're not working, which I imagine is not a lot, but when you're not working, what do you get up to? What do you like to do? How do you like to relax? How do you like to wind down?
So I mentioned my ladies. I got Britt's my wife. I have a 3-year-old and 6-year-old. Alex is the 3-year-old and Charlie is the 6-year-old. And we could have fun in a morgue. I tell you what, we give us a good day on the beach. We got our little setup. Friends come hang out, and we could do 9 hours on the beach just as easy as, sitting on the couch and watching some fun TV shows and stuff. So I really enjoy spending time with my girls and then sharing that time with friends and family when it's available. And a very, very close second, very close second is my weekly golf round at the club up the street. So when I have those two things as a staple and what's going on, pretty solid foundation.
Yeah, and it definitely makes working abroad a little bit easier as well. I can speak from experience. It's nice to have that sort of family ground when you're away as well, which is good, right? So a couple of quick fire questions to end with, because people like these things of coffee or tea. Obviously English, I like my tea. Americans tend to go to coffee. So we're trying to think of an aquatic sort of one we can go for, and it's quick fire: wave pool or lazy river?
Neither. Give me a good beach.
If you had to choose, what would it be?
A well-designed lazy river.
A well-designed lazy river. I'm personally a lazy river guy as well. I'm more of a lazy river as well. Okay, and then last question. Leave us with your favorite quote.
So I've been reading a lot of Colin Powell recently. I really enjoy his leadership style, and one of the things, he's got several quotes in his book. It worked for me, my life in leadership. I think that's how it goes. But he says something else in his autobiography, which he didn't quite touch on in the other one, is that perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. And I think if you apply the right attitude to any challenge, any situation, you'd be amazed at how many of the proper resources come out to help and make the situation better. So I try to adapt that and be an optimist each day, come to work with a good attitude, attack challenges and obstacles with a good attitude. And, like if perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. And the way he says it, it works out good. And I really kind of latched onto that. And it's worked well in my leadership style thus far.
Perfect. Awesome. Again, thank you so much for your time with us today, Bryan. Obviously, it's going to be a good insight for everyone else listening. And if they haven't been over to Atlantis, the Bahamas, book a trip, get yourself there. It's a great facility and resort, as well as a park. There's other things to do as well. If you'd like to feature in the next Elite interviews, reach out to us at info@starguardelite.com. Remember to like, follow, and share us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, so you can follow us on there as well.